this last one, is a group of Jesus' relators, his closest followers. So these are the 11 disciples because Judas left. Judas left, walked out the door to betray Jesus, 30 pieces of silver. So you have the 11 disciples around the table, and Jesus is having an amazing discussion with them. If you're interested in it, I would encourage you, read John chapters 14 through 17. This is basically his last in-depth conversation with his closest followers. It is a super, super powerful discourse and conversation with Jesus and his followers. Some of the things Jesus tells his followers is, hey, we're going to walk out of this room and I'm going to be betrayed. And they're going to crucify me tomorrow and I'm going to rise again on the third day. Now, if you were one of those closest followers and you don't know, like you're not 2,000 years later and did Easter and all that, if you were just hearing that for the first time, or, Jesus had told them more than once, what would be your response to Jesus telling you, I'm going to get crucified tomorrow? You'd be like, no. Heck no. Like, no way. That's not going to happen. How many of you might ask a question like, I don't get it? What are you talking about? I saw you raise the dead. You don't have to do this, right? I mean, you have choices in front of you. There are options. We could choose door B instead of A. Like, let's think through this. Some of us who are logical want to convince them to choose something different since you're all powerful. How many of you would be like, this perplexed, but you might not say anything because you're like, he's pretty smart. He might know what he's talking about. But a lot of us wouldn't understand, right? Wouldn't understand. And it's something that a lot of times I would not want to hear what he's telling me. I don't want to hear that. La, 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 la. Right? Not listening, da, 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 da. I had a friend of mine when I was growing up. He had what he referred to lovingly as wife deafness. So his wife would talk and you could hear him. Like he would just, or see him. He would just kind of close down. And you're like, hey, did you hear what she said? What? She was talking to you. What do you mean? And he's like, oh, that's wife deafness. He laughed about it. She obviously did not. A little frustrating to her. I get it. But here's the deal. A lot of times when you join the table with Jesus, there are times you're going to hear things that you don't understand. You may not like. You might disagree with them. And let me just put it into the water for your consideration too. John chapter 17, the lion's share of that chapter, the very end of this dinner conversation, table talk with Jesus, Jesus prays and speaks to the Father and says, Father, make them one as you and I are one. 2,000 years ago, Jesus was praying that there would be unity.